Everybody, it's Abomb here, and how you guys doing this afternoon? Alrighty then, I apologize that I am not looking at the camera. I can't really afford to right now. I'm on a walk, as you can see, outside, nature, yes. Well, maybe not the house over there, I don't know if you saw that or not, but I'm taking a walk. Figured this is the best I could do for a video right now. I was going to do a gaming video, but honestly, I haven't gamed in kind of a long time. So I decided that probably wasn't going to be my best course of action, so instead I decided to do a podcast, sort of. This isn't really a podcast since you're seeing my face, but I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me with my my phone in my pocket, so this is the best we got to work with. You get to see my ugly mug the entire video. And it's the first time this has happened. I've shown my face on camera a couple times, so if I ever do get to be a big time YouTuber, sadly, there will not be some big face reveal, but, you know. Anyways, so, I honestly didn't have too much of a plan going into this video on what I was going to do. I was just like, hey, my buddy wants me to do a YouTube video, so he's not so bored. I'm going to take a walk, and I'm going to talk while doing so, and here we are. This is it. Suppose we should kind of start off with doing a couple announcements. First off, I just did a couple videos on on my YouTube channel about me eating food. The bad thing is I promised myself I was never going to do a food review video, and yet somehow I end up doing a food review video because my friend talked me into it. So if you guys want to check out me eating food and talking about it, there's those videos. But honestly, it's not that I don't like food review videos. They can be interesting. It's just that I know a lot of people like diss on food review videos. And honestly, when I watch YouTube, mostly what I watch is like gaming videos with the YouTube groups, and they're just all laughing and joking, because, you know, I like those kind of videos. Either that, or I'm listening to music, or I'm trying to watch an anime that I can't find anywhere else on YouTube, which I figured out there's way easier methods than trying to go to YouTube and search for it. I got this site I use. I'm pretty sure that they like changed it, because now when I try to go to the site, I can't find it, but I still use it because like I had tabs open with it, so I can still go to the tabs, then I can copy and paste it and go to it that way, but I can't actually search up the site anymore. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe they changed it, maybe it's like gone and I'm still somehow able to use it. Whatever the case is, it used to be called iowatchcartoon.com. A YouTube friend of mine named Cryos Blaze, also a YouTube fan, an anime fan, he advised it for me, and I started using it. Gotta say, I was honestly pretty impressed, because it's multi-use. Not only is there anime on there, but there's cartoons, and despite me being 20 years old, I still watch cartoons. Not like, you know, I'm not going out and watching the Paw Patrol or anything, but I still watch Scooby-Doo. I still watch the old Justice League shows and Young Justice. I sometimes go back to the old classics, you know, stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid, like the Fairly Odd Parents or Jimmy Neutron, stuff like that. I've also been playing some phone games on my phone. I had to delete one of them to start doing YouTube again because my storage was like crammed full. The most I could get in was a 4-minute video. And I had 9 games. It kind of came down to like which one I wanted to get rid of. The one I ended up deciding to delete was Fire Emblem Heroes, which kind of crushed me because I had so many heroes. And the bad thing is, I only get on to do like the login bonuses most of the time. My characters were only level 8, and that was one team. I did a couple missions of the story, and after that, I was just kind of doing the daily login bonuses. I had a good amount of 4 stars, and I even had a 5-star, I think, if I can remember correctly. I had 5-star Felicia. Which I was honestly kind of surprised I got, because I got 2 of them. 2 of the same Felicias. And I had to delete that game. Still kind of bummed about that, but at least I'm able to do YouTube again. Another game that I've been playing a lot that I feel like I should mention is The Walking Dead No Man's Land, I think it's called. And I'm not trying to like do promotional videos. I'm just going to mention this because I have little else to talk about. The Walking Dead No Man's Land has a little special event going on right now. If you have the game and you didn't get notified of it, they got this like guaranteed like Walking Dead character summon thingy. Basically, you can get really good Walking Dead characters guaranteed, or at least the pieces you need to get them. It'll cost you 25 radios, which, if you play the game, you know how ungodly hard it is to get radios. I have 24 right now, and I'm not actually planning on doing that. I'm saving up my radios because I want to try to get an assault class person, because I have every class unlocked, but my only assault class person is Rosita. I want to get more assault class people, specifically ones that aren't like main characters, because I have a bunch of tokens for it, but you can't use the tokens on the actual characters. You have to use their character stuff. So I want to try to get one of those, because I only got 1 slot left that I can use. And I don't have enough gold to get a new one. I played Girls X Battle or something like that. The second one, and I was finally able to marry Iron Fist, which I was so happy about, because pretty much ever since I got the game, I've been trying to do that. Iron Fist was one of my first summons, and I finally got her up to 100, and then once I got to 100, it gave me a free engagement ring for her, so I ended up marrying Iron Fist. I don't know if you got, like, if only the first one's free, if you got to buy the rest of them or what. I haven't gotten another girl to 100 yet. I'm about halfway there with Hexa, or Hexia. I don't know how it's said. I think it's Hexa. She's the girl with, like, the black hair and the glasses, and she's wearing the suit, and she likes the special effects pistol and the special effects glasses. It took me a while to actually figure out that the girls have likes and dislikes. I couldn't ever figure out why Iron Fist would, like, just not get influenced when I gave her a certain gift. And I eventually figured out that, you know, the girls have likes and dislikes. If you want to figure out how to do that, there's, like, a discussion thing, or something like that. In there, at rank 20, once you get the rank because you get some, like, little snippets of information about them at ranks 20, 40, 60, and 80, if I remember correctly. And then you can marry them at level, when they get to 100. Anyways. So, at rank 20, it gives you their likes and their dislikes. they'll always like 2 things and dislike 2. I can't remember what Iron Fist is, other than she liked the special effects glasses, because that's normally what I crafted for her. With Hexia, she likes the special effects glasses and the special effects gun. And she dislikes, if I can remember correctly, don't quote me on this, because I'm kind of shooting in the dark here, the mysterious potion and the umbrellas. I'm guessing that they'll probably have more on that later, like why that is, or maybe, I don't know. But if I can remember correctly, those are her likes and her dislikes. I know for sure that those are her likes. I'm just not too sure on the dislikes. Also, I'm pretty sure that Iron Fist didn't like the mysterious potion either. For my next, like, ranking thing, because I always focus at one girl at a time, and this makes it easier. But I think for the next one that I'm going to do, you know, like 100 them up, is I'm either going to do Javelin or Aquarius. Also keep in mind, I don't have the money for this game. I am not, like, paying to win this. Everything that I've gotten so far has been just natural stuff, because I honestly don't pour too much money into phone games. The only game that I ever spent money on for the phone was a Telltale game. I bought the entire Batman series. The Batman Telltale series. Then I realized that there's a second one. I completed the first thing in the second one, and I'm pretty sure I fucked up because I told the truth, and you apparently don't want to tell the truth with Batman. I saw, like, my influence with people. I Major League pissed off Lucius Fox's daughter. I Major League pissed off Amanda Waller. Gordon was pretty happy with me. Alfred was kind of meh. Can't remember who else I had. Oh yeah, and I had a decent relationship with John. Actually, I had a great relationship with John. But I was so conflicted at the funeral because, like, on one hand, John's being an ass during the funeral. At the other hand, he doesn't realize he's being an ass, and if you're hard on him, it just it made me feel like an asshole for someone who's, like, just trying to enjoy freedom. He's not been to a funeral in a while, if at all. He doesn't know how this shit works. Like, I know that John is the Joker. It's pretty obvious to tell that, and I know you probably shouldn't want to have a very nice relationship with the Joker, but I like John. He's a pretty nice guy, at least for now. So I'm looking forward to playing the second Batman Telltale game series thing, if they even make one. I heard that Telltale shut down, but I also heard that they're planning that, like, another company is planning on doing their The Wolf Among Us game. And if that's the case, then they might pick up some of the other series too. From what I know, The Walking Dead's done. Batman's probably done. I don't know about the Minecraft story mode. I played the first little episode of the Minecraft story mode. It was actually a pretty good game, but I ran out of money. I was working then. I'm unemployed right now. It's not like I did anything bad to get fired, or that I got tired of working and I quit. I was working at this place for a job training program. I only work an hour a day, which obviously didn't net me much money, but I was working an hour a day, 5 days a week at my school, But once I graduated, that was out of the question. The job training's over, go out and find an actual job. Well, once I graduated, a bunch of bullcrap went on. I became homeless for a while. Actually, a long while. And then I moved in with my friend, but then I wasn't sure how long I was going to be there, so I didn't get a job there. And then I figured out that I was going to be there a while, went up, tried to get the job. They told me that I had just missed the deadline on getting a job. I'm actually going to make another lap around, at least back to the sign, because I'm only 15 minutes into this video and I'm almost back to my apartment. There's a bunch of people outside, and I don't want them to think that I'm just some weirdo walking around talking to himself. That might actually be the case, but still. Also, sorry about, whoa, okay, that should help. I was gonna say sorry about the darkness because, you know, it's getting dark out. But I got a flashlight on my phone. I just got to try not to look at it because honestly, that is god-awful bright. I'm a little bit worried about going back to my dad's house at the moment. Not because I'm in trouble or anything, but like, right before I left to do this video, he scared the crap out of me and I left without saying a word. I think, you know, I don't want him to think that I'm, you know, being pissy with him or anything, because I'm honestly not. Like, you know, I was a little frightened. That's why I didn't say anything, because I was like blowing out my mind. I was like, holy shit, you scared the crap out of me. I walked out the door, got a little bit of a distance on the walk before I realized, oh, I didn't say anything to him. He doesn't know I left. When he finds out, he's probably gonna think that he made me mad when he scared me, which is understandable. It's a natural thing to assume, but it's not that. I was honestly trying to do this while there was still light in the sky, which I didn't know if there was a flashlight on my camera. I mean, I've never really experimented with this thing too much. Typically, when I'm using my camera in the dark, it's pointed at a game system. There's light coming from that, and so I don't need to have any source of light. I've also been kind of like trying to work on my stories a little bit. There's My Best Friend is an Angel that I've been working on, and that one I actually plan on publishing as like an actual thing, because some of what I write and most of what I focus on are fan fictions. Now, I'm not one of those people that writes fan fictions for like, you know, shipping two characters together. I don't have a problem with those people, but I am not one of those people. What I do with my fan fictions is I kind of like take a basic idea, like sort of like the setting of the story. I don't use any previously made characters. I might have mentions of those characters, but there's only one character that I ever used in like the actual story, and that's in my Pokemon fanfiction. I made Nurse Joy, but there's only one Nurse Joy, and she's part of Team Rocket. It's kind of crazy. Basically, same principle. Young trainer. I decided to make it 15 with the trainer. Partially because the story is a little bit more intense, more meant for like teenagers than the original Pokemon series was, but also because I feel like it makes more sense for a teenager to be sent out rather than a child. I mean, obviously with the Pokemon War, I don't know if that's an actual thing or not, Like, I heard that I heard conspiracy theories about it, but I don't know if that's actually like part of the story. But with the Pokemon War and everything, I get that they got to send trainers out younger now, because like all the adult males are pretty much gone, at least the majority of them. But this takes place like years after Ash Ketchum and whatnot, so obviously, you know, people are starting to come back. It's not that like Nurse Joy's and Officer Jenny's died out or anything. It's just that like once people were able to like be more divided, they just kind of went off and started doing other things. That's basically my excuse for why I don't use Nurse Joy's and Officer Jenny's. I did kind of like make a poke at it though. There's Nurse Droy. I mean, not Nurse. Dr. Droy, which is like a legit Pokemon doctor. I kept the pink hair thing with him. However, Dr. Droy is actually one of the most complex characters in this series. And then I decided to add a comedic cop duo. There's Officers Penny and Kenny, and they're kind of like your idiot, hopeful, like police cops. You know, they're not really good at what they do, but they're enthusiastic about it. I haven't really been working on the Pokemon one too much, though. I've mainly been doing my Fairy Tail one. Basically, instead of using the actual Fairy Tail guild, I decided to make it to where, after the events of the Fairy Tail anime series, Fairy Tail got so big that they had branch guilds made off. There's not just one Fairy Tail now, there's multiple. Those are called the branch family Fairy Tales. So this isn't even the same guild hall that like Natsu and Lucy, Gray, and them were at. However, they still do have the Fairy Tail name. And I've also been trying to work on Mystery Inc., which is basically like a new generation of the Scooby Gang. Though, again, it's a little bit more adult than like the original, because I watch a lot of anime, so like whenever I make something, it's more meant for teens than it is kids, because that's basically anime. It's more made for teens than kids. Some anime are actually made for kids, but for the most part, they're teenage stuff. Because I know Shonen Jump is a thing. For those of you that don't know what that is, their anime is made for like smaller boys. Anywho, so Mystery Inc. By this point in time, the Scooby Gang is already like run its course. They got old, they died, stuff like that. You know, they're no longer around. And for the most part, things just kind of went, normally. There wasn't a whole lot of like bad guys in masks or anything. I mean, there was occasionally the bad guy in mask, but for the most part, people kind of like felt like the Scooby Gang had just kind of run its course. There was no need for Mystery Inc. anymore. But a group of teenage kids decided that the Scooby Gang did in fact do good work, and these guys pretty much were formed not to like unmask people. They're actually looking for actual monsters and ghosts. Obviously, most of what they find are bad guys in masks, but I actually do plan on making the occasional episode where the ghost is real. But the new gang has Max. Max is a he's kind of like a thuggish Boston kid. His English isn't all that great. He eats a whole lot. His favorite food is meats. And he's more of a I talk with my actions rather than my words kind of guy. There's Harper. Harper would kind of like be what you consider the new Daphne. She's rich, she's pretty, stuff like that, but she's kind of got like a twist. She's also kind of she likes Max, and she doesn't know how to display it exactly. She's also got, for at least the first part of the series, this guy named Macmillan, who her parents want her to marry because her family is rich. Now, obviously, like, political marriages aren't exactly a thing anymore, but they're kind of like trying to do it under the table. You see, her family doesn't want her to be with Max because her father is like one of the most important political influences in the world. If she dates someone like Max, a street thug, then that can be easily used against him. Oh, his family endorses thugs and thuggish behavior. Because that's what politicians do. They look for any kind of like gap that they can use against their opponents. So they want her to marry Macmillan. Macmillan, he's kind of a spoiled rich kid, but at the same time, he is someone famous. He is someone that the media has come to know and love. If Harper marries Mac, then that can only serve to skyrocket her dad's political career. There's Greg, who is kind of like the Fred of the group, only he kind of like learned how to make traps from Sherlock Holmes. And they're kind of hit or miss because he can't Sherlock Holmes like Sherlock Holmes can. He's also British. He is a British exchange student who came over. He's also the one that drives the mystery machine, and yes, I kept around the mystery machine because there's just no replacing the mystery machine. Like, I obviously couldn't keep the name of the series Scooby-Doo because there's no Scooby-Doo anymore. But the mystery machine can't die. I always forget this dude's name. Like, I created the dude and I can't remember his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I can't remember. He's some smart kid who works on computers and stuff like that. It's basically like the new Velma. And then there's Hope, who's kind of like what you'd think of Shaggy to be like. She's a full-on hippie. She's all about like peace and equality, stuff like that. And she has a dog named Daisy. But before you ask, no, Daisy is not a talking dog. She's a regular dog. There is a talking hamster in the series, but that belongs to an intern who shows up in episode, I think 3 or 4. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm almost out of recording time here. So I'm going to do my outro. I'll try to talk a little bit after that, but honestly, I might get cut off. I hope you guys liked the video. If not, then leave a dislike and explain to me in the comments what I did wrong.